All right, there we go. Maybe I can bring both of us in, huh? There we go. All right, that's both of us. Hello, hello, everyone. Thanks for the gifted sub, Bardem. Definitely. Hi, Tucking. Hi, QG. Everybody else coming to join. I just made a bunch of posts out there, hoping drawing a few people. We will see. Oh, look at that. I'm finally getting the YouTube live notifications. I finally fixed some of those settings. That's an absolute miracle. Wow. Okay, so how is chat doing? How's everyone doing today? We have all kinds of fun stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
I have been way too busy for the last few days to get much of anything done or pay much attention. I had documentary film shoot for the last 2 days that were 10-hour days. And it was it was a thing. I lost my voice at the end of both days almost. It was cough drops. It was anything I could do to keep my my throat, functional for the day.
That is a lot of talking.
And they only end up with like half an hour to 45 minutes out of, that much.
I mean, I assume like at least half of it was just providing like background that wasn't even like something that you expected might make it in.
Oh, the amount of times I've had to, tell the interviewer, don't say member.
Yeah.
Member's not the right word. There are
Indeed.
none. So yeah, I mean, luckily I've got a lot of those spiels down to a point where they're like, 20-second sound bites for them. Which did make the interviewer pretty happy, I think. Me and him are getting along really well. The cameraman, all of it. It was just, it was a good environment. We were all very friendly, very helpful, all kind of getting a say in where the lighting was and where we were sitting and all that. Like, luckily I have a lot of experience in this space, being the one with the camera pointed in his face. And so, we got to get through a lot more than we thought we were going to. He had a list of 500 questions and he thought we'd get through 10%. We got through half,
Oh.
So, because I know the things you're supposed to ask. Like,
Sure.
I don't need him to explain to me what on camera or on him means. Am I looking beside the camera? Am I talking to him? Is he on camera? Can you see him? Am I repeating the words of the questions that he's asking me? Or am I just responding to him? Because he's mic'd up too. There's 100 ways that these things are all kind of configured for an interview, right? And you'll notice that certain people like do the same type of setup every time.
Yeah.
So if there's a docuseries or something, they might always be on the interviewer, not looking at the camera. Don't break the fourth wall. But you also have to repeat the interviewer's question as part of your answer because his words aren't going on screen.
Right.
It just makes it sound more like you're talking and telling stories, right?
Yep.
So you just learn all of this type of stuff. So luckily, I know enough of that at this point that we can just go for hours and hours and not be interrupted by me having to like learn another piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
I know where to put my own mics and run the lav up my shirt and where all the stuff related. So that helped. That helped a lot. And they like that too because it makes their job a lot easier, a lot faster.
Sure. They get to spend more time on the thing they're actually supposed to be doing rather than setup.
Let's check out over here real quick. I made some changes to some of my settings. Okay. Yeah, for the first time in like a month, Twitch, even though it's getting 6,000, it's finally also saying it's an excellent stable connection. I don't know what it was, but the last two, it just had the big red unstable on there, even though it's getting over 6,000 KB a second. And when I look at the VOD, flawless. So whatever I changed, I don't know, because I did that thing where I was really dumb and didn't like change one setting and then play with things, then another. No, I changed like 50 things and maybe put some back.
Right.
So we have no idea which one did the thing, but now Twitch thinks it's stable. Whew. So I have a few things to go over today, a few things I want to talk about. I know Mac does too, same standard stuff we do. We'll play some games at the end, all that. Anything chat wants to talk about, start putting in there. We all know there's the delay with chat. Good evening, good evening. So, but the first thing I want to start with is my morning this morning. So yeah, everybody, good old Tucking, Alistair, Berdam, all the others in the chat. Who do we have? Yeah, we Fusion in the chat, right? We have this morning. I wake up, standard wake up for me. I'm laying there, not getting out of bed yet. I should get out of bed, but I just haven't yet, right? And then my doorbell rings. I'm in my pajamas. My hair is sticking up everywhere. I don't throw a hat on. I'm just like, if someone's showing up this early at my house, it was before 9 a.m. It was like 8 something. I don't really care what I look like. They're going to get what they get if I come to the door. But, I'm in this situation where I need to answer the door for a lot of reasons, so I'm going to go answer it. I'm not going to ignore this one. So I get down there. We're on the second floor. I get down to that first floor door there. And I see a guy, and he's got cop face. Like, you know when you're looking at a cop, right? And he says he is a state trooper, and he doesn't, have ID. I ask for a card. He doesn't have one. And I'm like, oh, okay. What do you want before I shut the door? And because I'll at least hear their question before I tell them no, right? I want to know why they showed up. Sure. It's good info to have.
Yeah.
And he says, well, there's been some infrastructure incidents in Boston in the last couple months that have been important, that I've been tasked with kind of looking into. And so we're visiting some people around town who might have knowledge to maybe talk about this subject with us. And, we all know who you are. And at first I'm thinking, okay, so they're watching the streams, obviously. So any state troopers out there watching the streams, please like and subscribe, And he says, well, would you be willing to talk to us? And I said, well, me and my community, ACAB all day, so not really. And he laughed at that. And he said, well, I'll call you back in 2 weeks and maybe you've changed your mind. And he goes to leave. And he's just got a truck. And I could see there was a badge under his shirt and his jacket. So when he kind of moved around, you could see it kind of popping up. But he did not want to show me. Whatever the fuck that was. But now, if you're reading into what just happened there, these motherfuckers had some kind of a related infrastructure incident. One of them was actual water supply incident here in Stoughton, which is just a town, outside of Boston, in the general Massachusetts kind of, town. And I think it could be related to that. It could be related to another one. Who knows? But and it's related to one of the things we talked about when I was playing around with the LLMs and the chatbots and getting them to tell us all about violating infrastructure, right? And they think I might be involved in some way, which of course we all know I'm not. I was talking to a chatbot. My accomplices are ChatGPT, OpenChat, and Mistral. Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, they have questions. They can talk to the guys that were giving you information. ChatGPT-4.
I know, right? So I think if he does end up calling me back, if they don't figure out how dumb that move was, I'm just going to tell him to like and subscribe. So if he's watching, you can like and subscribe. You just, give me money. Yeah, so that was my morning. Good times.
I wonder if that means that they're too inept to figure out who I am, or did they just figure that that I wasn't a suspect?
Right, because my hands were on the keyboard or something.
Right.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm just a little curious, since we obviously know where they found that piece of
right
information. I was clearly in that conversation. It's a little interesting they didn't come see me, but they would have been a waste of their time anyway. So.
Yeah, what I've learned is if we talk about possibly illegal acts in the hypothetical on here, and we come up with ways in which we could learn how to do them without being tracked, other than the fact that I'm talking about them live. They're paying attention. And then if one of those happens over the next few weeks, I might get visits. This sounds like a fun game to play. So I'm definitely going to put some more thought into it.
Play a guessing game of incidents the police would be interested in that might happen sometime in the near future.
What can we talk about on stream that I can possibly show you how to do in a non-illegal way where they can't charge me with anything, but it's going to piss them off? That's a subsection. that should be a category on Twitch, right? Let's go. I will try. I might slow it down a little on that, but it was fun. I mean, Chad, what do you think of all that fun? That is good times. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So that was my morning. Good times. Just waking up right into, oh, look, it's a state trooper on my doorstep. Sometimes they'll show up because they're like going around the area and they're talking about like they're with the police patrolmen's association or some stupid shit, and they're looking for donations for, you know, the families of their fallen brothers or that stupid shit. So when you see like cop face show up on your door, and even if they're not totally dressed as a cop, but you can tell that motherfucker's a cop, usually they're just going to say hi sir, right? They're not going to say hi Greg. Like, I mean, I knew I was the one he was looking for.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're the one that they're looking for, it's usually, hi, I'm looking for
right?
X, not hi, Greg.
Yeah, obviously they're watching the stream if that's the case, right? So, hey, more viewers, you know, let's go.
Yeah.
But also that is to say, hey, chat, yeah, looks like they're watching. Yeah. And chat is included in the video. So, know that ahead of time before you type shit in chat, right?
Yeah. Well, now you know where that like one view on the YouTube VODs is coming from.
Right? Because they aren't on Twitch. They're over on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. In fact, is there anyone over there right now? Oh yeah. There's 2 people watching right now. Hi, cops. How's it going? Oh, I love it. That is good times. So that's that. I don't know. I think it's funny. Let's see. Oh, that's weird. I need to change some configuration stuff on my Stream Deck to get it to do a couple more things for me. Another thing I want to say, tomorrow I am going to play another one of the Minecraft tournaments. It's dumb, but it's also fun and hilarious because I'm absolutely horrible at it. You know, my Minecraft skills are more on like redstone and like big, like, you know, projects like that, right? Not in PvP from some version from 20 years ago. Like they play like PvP 1.8, which I'm told means something. I got wrecked 2 weeks ago or last weekend or whatever the F I did that one. It's sponsored by H&R Block, which makes complete sense.
Yes.
So tomorrow at 2 p.m. I have another Minecraft tournament. It'll be like an hour-long stream where you guys watch me lose horribly and be very bad at a video game. And it's fun. So if anyone wants to come to that, it was fun last time. Wow, my voice is already getting really scratchy. These last 2 days, man, it was horrible. You got anything fun going on, Mac, for the last few days?
I mean, nothing especially interesting on the personal level. I have... I'd say the more interesting experiences recently are things that we'll get into with some of the topics we'll talk about.
There we go. Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing in the last one. I just, you know, I was very glad that when I explained just how bad I was going to be to my teammates and that they needed to carry, they didn't like, oh shit, and ask for a sub or something. No, they were like, all right, we got this. We're going to help you choose your character. We're going to da-da-da-da-da, you know, and they were calling out, you know, actions for me to take during the event. Like, I was very happy. It was a very supportive team. That helped. I feel a little more confident going into this week, although I do hope they do some balancing because every team in the last round did the exact same thing. They speed ran to one weapon, ignoring all other things you could buy, just the diamond sword, ignoring getting upgraded armor, ignoring getting speed or any of the enchantments you could get no, just get the diamond sword and then you win. First one to the diamond swords wins. I would hope they balance that a little. I mean, you know, they watched what happened last weekend. Yeah. So we should start talking about all the fun stuff going on, all the things, all the fun, all the bad.
Yeah.
The State of the Union was last night, obviously, and I watched a fair amount of it. Sometimes I just found myself fading off looking at other things because it was so boring. He had more energy than I was expecting, and I was still bored. I mean, the first thing that I heard that I thought was funny when he said these attacks on our democracy, we've got to defend these attacks on our democracy. I'm like, I know you meant to say we've got to defeat these attacks on our democracy
or defend against or whatever.
Yeah, like you missed a word or you said the wrong word, dude. And I knew what he meant. And he had the right sentiment if he had said the words. And I know he's older. I know I make the same mistakes that he just made.
Also, he's that guy that's been known for doing that for like the last 25 years.
Yeah, it's not really because he's like 80. He's been doing it since he was like 40.
Yeah. I mean, him being 80 certainly doesn't help. I'm sure it happens significantly more often just because, you know, as you get older, that happens. But he's been that guy for a long time.
Whew. Is this working? Hey, guess what? Unlike last week, Stream Elements decided not to work again. Let's refresh and see if it decides to play nice. Oh, hey, chat. So you want to know what's happening for me on stream? Right now, I have an offer for a sponsor. Max payout $5,590. Raid Shadow Legends wants to sponsor the stream. And I guess they're running out of big streamers willing to.
I mean, I've seen them sponsor video content on some channels that, like, I was shocked were big enough to get a sponsorship. So that's not entirely a surprise. They seem to just want to, like, flood the zone.
Yeah, so, like, their deal is that max payout number is, you know, not what you're getting. No. The payouts are based on how many users you drive to their horrible system. You know, but yeah, I do think it's hilarious that is the first actual offer I've gotten from the Stream Elements system. All right, let's see if Stream Elements is playing nice again. Do the thing. Oh my God, it's a miracle I did the thing. Okay, Stream Elements is working again. Damn it. It would be really nice if that just worked every time without me taking extra steps. I swear it works for other people. I watch streams where nobody's complaining about this shit, or they've just learned some trick that I don't know yet. Okay, whatever. It's on again. So everyone resubscribe, you know, do all the things, follow, like, whatever. But I'm going to have a lot of clearing my throats and other things tonight after these 2 days of talking for 10 hours a day. Let's move on to the camera boxes with my screen. That is, I need to organize these buttons in the right order. Yeah, there we go. Now that I've added and redone like multiple screens and switched his machine off of just straight normal NDI and over to OBS, sending 2 NDI streams over and all this other stuff, like I need to rework my Stream Deck and all of the buttons because they are now totally out of order and some of them don't say what they are.
Yeah.
Okay, that is awesome. Thanks again, Birdam. Like, you know, supporting the whole stream here. I love it. Woo. Yeah, so we can get right into things. I mean, obviously, let's just go with what's happening right now this minute. A lot of times we like to kind of play with a little fluffier stuff first and then go into the harder stuff later, kind of build up, you know. But, you know, right now, Viktor, good old Orban, is at Mar-a-Lago meeting with Trump and hanging out, you know, being his autocratic dictatorship kind of a self.
I mean, I assume he's there to talk about the handover of Ukraine to Russia.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. But yeah, here they are just walking around, you know, like it's okay to have him here.
Mm-hmm. And like,
Melania showed up.
That's the real surprise.
That's the big surprise for now. And he handed her, you know, big heavy flowers to carry around, which, you know, I don't know. If I was in her position, that would annoy me. I don't want to carry those things around.
Yeah.
A better leader than Viktor.
Listen to this.
That's better, smarter, or a better leader than Viktor Orban. He's fantastic. As you know, the Prime Minister of Hungary and does a great job. He's a non-controversial figure because he said this is the way it's going to be, and that's the end of it, right? He's the boss.
A non-controversial figure.
Because he says that's how it's going to be, and that's the end of it.
Because he's a dictator.
Yeah.
Because he's an autocrat.
Ha ha. Very funny. Great joke.
Uh-huh. That's, yeah, this is Trump to meet with Hungary's leader. I mean, as we all know, you know, there are restrictions on immigration, there are restrictions on LGBTQ plus rights, the jailing of members of the press, the restrictions on what they're allowed to report on, the harassment of anyone who tries to run against his party, the redistricting and changing of election laws, like
changing the judiciary so they can go after political enemies and get rid of anyone that might stand up to them. Yeah. All
everything
the
you can
usual
imagine.
Authoritarian stuff.
So I would love to say, oh my God, a former U.S. president has this dude and is calling him out as a good guy. But no, I mean, we all expected this. Like, what else are we supposed to say about this topic? We all knew this was who he was.
I mean, it's no surprise that, the far right in the U.S. is embracing him. He's spoken at CPAC. He's hosted CPAC. Like, they have tied themselves very closely to Viktor Orban.
As closely as they have tied themselves to Donald Trump.
Yes. Yes.
I don't have much to say about this other than people should know that this is what's going on right now. Like, I think this video is an hour and a half old or something, 7:40. Oh no, it's like a little over half an hour old. Yeah, so that's right now that he's doing this. Ugh. Ugh is all I've got to say about that.
Yeah, what more is there to say, really?
I wanted to start the stream off with Happy Women's Day, but of course Victor's there right now, so we started there.
Right.
But a good Emma Goldman quote is a good way to celebrate Women's Day.
Indeed.
Industry is the ceaseless piracy of the rich against the poor. Damn straight.
It's true.
So yeah, everyone out there watching, everyone who sees the VOD, happy Women's Day. Good. So yeah, this is yesterday. This is a few blocks from my house. And I'm sitting here at home just thinking, oh, I wonder what all that sound is. I wonder why things are, and here it is. What? Wait, there's one helicopter above my house. Oh, now there's a second one, and they're circling my house. Huh. I don't like it when helicopters circle my house. No. It's not my favorite place to be.
No, it's not.
I go outside.
It's a little worrisome.
I go outside, I look up, and of course, I go straight up on Twitter and I search for, everything, and instantly, pops right up. This Tim Gorman guy's over there with his camera as it's happening. The internet never ceases to wonder me at this point. But yeah, it's just right there. This car just drove through one of these fences, through a front yard and back out again. And it looks like, someone's dog is dead. They hit a dog, they hit a person. But yeah, at first you're just wondering, why are all these helicopters flying over my house? Damn it. I don't want that. So, it's been a couple days of just cops literally everywhere around here. Not enjoying it.
No.
Then we have this, and I, for a few seconds, really didn't believe this was AI, but there's a bunch of other videos now. And this prompt is just literally dramatic cinema music, orchestra, intense. That's the whole prompt. And then the second entry for these music-related ones, Suno is what this one is, but the Adobe one too. The second prompt is the lyrics you would like it to sing, right? Mm-hmm. So style, lyrics. Are you ready for this, chat? Because
I ordered meat lovers. Little did I know my life would change. Pizza guy, why'd you have to bring a machete? Pizza guy.
yeah, so AI generated all of that just off of that prompt and being fed some lyrics.
Okay.
I believe these are the lyrics here. I know this guy who sells pizzas, and he does seem a little strange. And one day I ordered meat lovers. Little did I know my life would change. Oh, pizza guy, why'd you have to bring a machete? Spelled wrong. Oh, pizza guy, I wish you would have never met me. Oh, I should have just got Wendy's. Oh, why didn't I go to Wendy's? I mean, I do love the lyrics for the thing. But this is the new Suno V4. And I mean, right now, I think in their backend, if you get access to it, it's like V3 alpha something something, but this is what's going to be V4. So like, it generates music like that now.
This whole Twitter thread is sponsored content by the guy that runs the Wendy's Twitter.
Right. The I'm a snake guy.
Yes.
If anyone remembers that old video, the guy just sitting there, I'm a snake. That kid is the one who runs all these fast food chain ones like Wendy's and the Arby's one and all the others that are so funny online. That guy grew up to be the guy who runs all those accounts that we really hate because they're making interacting with corporations actually hilarious a lot of the time. And we shouldn't be thinking of them that way.
No.
But yeah, it's the I'm a Snake kid. So we've got the music part now up to that level. The video part is, at a level I would think is close to this. We've got LTX Studio coming, which will give us the storyboarding and all the other fun pieces to putting a thing together. Like, we're a year away from just loading up LTX Studio with all of these tools and making an entire movie out of this in like a day without hiring actors or a sound guy or singers or writers or
I mean, I think it'll take a lot more than a day to produce anything that's like worthwhile, but
right. But you saw LTX.
You could put something out, but it would be kind of terrible.
Right. But I mean, just the fact that we can even think that you could put something out.
Yeah.
Like, again, look at this 2 years ago when this kind of started, a year ago, and we really realized it had started. The speed is so stupid. So another AI funny thing, post whatever you want into the chat there. But another fun AI thing. So Midjourney, on the 6th, the day before yesterday, banned all of Stability AI's users from Midjourney, even all the paying accounts and everything, and banned them all from the Discord. Because Stability AI were using some kind of a bot system with those accounts to take all of the public prompts that people were putting in and the images that were getting generated and save them, building some kind of a training data set off of Midjourney. And I guess they didn't write the bot good enough because it basically DDoSed the damn thing. And so it literally was taking Midjourney offline off of the Discord. So they banned all of Stability AI. And of course, the thread is hilarious of people saying, you mean they took something from the internet without asking? Kind of like Midjourney and everyone else. Mm-hmm. Heaven forbid the open source community steals proprietary IP, anyone but them. Like, I mean, it's just the whole thing is like, they're arguing, okay, we're not arguing against the fact that they were taking our stuff. We're arguing that they knocked our shit offline. Fine. Argue against like the accidental DDoS, sure. But like anyone talking about the idea that it was bad that they were taking their content, I mean, can fuck right off with that. Yeah. Midjourney's built off of the same damn, process. Why does Hydrate not work? It should. Do you have enough channel points? Did it like, I haven't changed any of that. I'm going to hit Hydrate and redeem. Are Twitch channel points broken right now? Because that's just a built-in Twitch thing. Since I'm the streamer, I get, an infinity symbol there. So I can click whatever button I want. And I just clicked on channel points too. And this isn't like a thing that's going through Stream Elements or some third party. This is just on Twitch. Huh? I wonder. Well, we'll figure that out. But yeah, you are right. I do need some water at this point. But yeah, so Midjourney bans all of Stability AI. I think that's hilarious.
Indeed.
We are going to let me take a second to go get a full glass of water here, and I am going to hit this button. So some of you will get ads, some of you won't. The ones who won't get to look at Mac for this few minutes or seconds or whatever. And my button
it did actually do ads.
That's a miracle.
Yeah, or at least I got an ad. I don't know about other people.
At least one thing's working.
Right?
And what do we have there while I'm away? Puck. How's it going, Puck? Yay, new follower. All right. I'm guessing the ad is over, and the thing I'm seeing on my screen is that it has a cooldown. That's new. It didn't used to show me that on this interface. Can you cuss on there? I don't think I have any strong filters in place, but Stream Elements might have some defaults going. Give it a try. If you get banned, I might be able to unban you. Let's see what happens. Yo, thanks for the support. Yeah, you know, just telling people all the, Maybe it's doing like an intro one for your first time to the stream. I get those a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so... Yeah, no, I guess I don't have any auto moderation on that going. Well then, we can move on to some more fun stuff here. You guys ready for this one? Texas mom arrested after drink given to son to prevent bullying sends student to hospital. So this kid going to school, his parents, I guess, were nice to him because, you know, they gave him Prime. And that was a thing he wanted. And I don't necessarily think that it's a thing he should want. I think, you know, fuck the Paul brothers. And I don't hate KSI. I just, you know, Paul can go fuck himself, right? And, but a bully was taking his stuff. And so his mom made a mix. Nothing toxic, just lemon, salt, and vinegar was in the bottle.
That will be unpleasant.
And so the bully stole it. And... that kid ended up with a really bad case of nausea, headache, and everything else. And they didn't know what was going on, but they figured out it must be what was in that bottle. And not knowing just how bad it was, he had to go to the hospital. I don't think that's an overreaction. I think it was the right move because you don't know what's in the bottle, right? But at the same time, I also think the mom that made that concoction and gave it to her son to fight the bully, well done, and fuck the bully and fuck his parents. That's how I see it. I don't know about everyone else. I don't know what chat feels about that, but I feel like righteous.
Yeah, I mean, I guess certainly there's the like concern that, you know, it'd be very easy for someone in a similar situation to do something that could like legitimately endanger someone. In this case, lemon, salt, and vinegar doesn't really seem likely to do that.
No, you're going to have a bad day, but you're going to be fine tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess... like maybe someone could have a bad reaction, but that's also true of like whatever was in the drink in the first place. That could be the case. Like,
right.
That's not really on you at that point.
Yeah. Fuck Prime hydration. But keeping right along lines, you know, with just, you know, fuck the Paul brothers. This is what's next. This is Mike Tyson at 58 years old is going to fight Jake Paul on Netflix. And what? He's 58. Jake Paul is a young guy who has actually been training and has gotten decent at, you know, the sport. I don't like them. I don't want to compliment him, but he's not, you know, just some horrible amateur playing at some, you know, local boxing club. He's put on the weight. He's ready for the fight. And, of course, he wouldn't be ready for the fight 20, 30, 40 years ago. Tyson would have literally murdered him. But at this point, like, you know, Tyson at 58 practicing, yeah, when you watch him going, it still looks like he's got the speed, the footwork. It still looks like that dodge of his where you just can't out hit his head because somehow it's 10 feet away from where it was, you know, 1 second ago. I mean, it still looks like he's got it. But my favorite part about this announcement was Jake Paul got his start at this level of boxing by being invited to be on the undercard to the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. fight. And so Tyson says this, let's see, he's grown significantly as a boxer over the years, so it will be a lot of fun to see what the will and ambition of a kid can do with the experience and aptitude of a GOAT. It's a full circle moment that will be beyond thrilling to watch as I started him off on boxing journey on the undercard of my fight with Roy Jones, and now I plan to finish him.
Okay, that's a pretty solid,
right?
I
love it.
That's like WWE fight interview line.
Mm-hmm. I just love the finish him part.
Yeah.
That is good
I can
times.
totally see it. Like that sounds like something out of the, like Hulk Hogan would have been saying in the 80s.
Oh, totally. I mean, it's just right out of 80s
Seems like a
wrestling.
brother.
So I don't know. I thought this was funny. I really I don't want to wish, horrible injury on Jake Paul, but I really do want Mike Tyson to win this one. Just because.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you there.
Indeed. Whew. So, if you run WordPress, you should already know this. Update your damn WordPress and the plugins and the themes, because there's a new automated attack spreading out there that uses WordPresses to spread itself to other WordPresses, but also calls home and gets lists of logins and passwords from big breaches, just the standard combinations of usernames and passwords, and lists of, usually in batches of like 49,000, I think it said, WordPress sites that they can try and log into. So it can spread the load and distribute your automated login testing to find successful logins to WordPress sites and then spread itself again. And it's kind of worming its way around out there now and building up this giant list of working usernames and passwords to WordPresses. So as always, everyone who runs WordPress knows this. Everyone who runs any software that's kind of canned and open source like this, update your shit. Like, what the hell? This thing is gaining hundreds of new sites a day because people aren't updating. Just killing me here. These people, and of course, this article lists all the stages of it, but we know how this works. Gets in, then you visit the website, uses your computer via JavaScript to do the work. It's not coming from the website itself. So every visitor to the website becomes kind of part of the network of people trying the login attempts to these other websites. Update your WordPresses. So you like Reddit, do you? So ahead of the IPO, they've put out this announcement. It's a list of new toolkits for business growth on Reddit Pro. And it is all kinds of bullshit about how brands are going to get to shove stuff down your throat now. Mm-hmm. And the big one is just brands being able to find when their brand is being talked about in specific subreddits so they can go in there and take part in the conversations. I don't want them taking part in the conversations unless they're here to apologize for whatever made us talk about them. So
I mean, I feel like that might not go so well for them in a lot of subreddits, but they may regret getting involved.
Yeah. Like this could definitely have some Streisand affecting. But so get ready for brand infiltrations into all the subreddits you love because they'll know when their name was said. You can summon them, start threads about them, and they will magically show up. I understand with an IPO and all that and blah blah blah, but fuck you, Spaz.
Yeah, they have. It is amazing that as bad as every way they've found to monetize social media to date has been, every single time they come up with a new way, it just seems to be worse.
The only place that I think hasn't done it worse, but still also hasn't really done it profitably, is Tumblr. The users over there seem to be playing along with all the funny ways they've tried to find. Like you can pay for verified, but you can pay for it again. You can have as many check marks next to your name as you want. You like stupid shit like that, right? Like they've played around with the audience, but they still have never made it to profitability. They have sold for $1 billion, $1 million, $100 million, back down to $1 million. Like their valuations have been all over the place because no one has any idea what that's actually worth. Probably nothing. And if it wasn't for WordPress, they wouldn't still be running because WordPress's parent company actually now owns Tumblr. To bring it back around to the earlier topic there, update your WordPresses. What do we got here? Oh, yeah. So the Pentagon, much like when the cops interview themselves and try and find the culprit, didn't find anything. The Pentagon definitely didn't cover up anything to do with the aliens. Now, do I believe they covered up anything to do with the aliens? I don't know. I'm still not in the camp that believes the aliens have been here yet. I believe they're out there. I'm just not in the camp that outright believes they've been here yet.
I fully believe that the Pentagon covered up things in the context of looking into UFOs. I don't think it had anything to do with aliens. I think it had to do with things the Pentagon or other countries were doing that the Pentagon knew about and didn't want to talk about.
Absolutely. I believe they've covered up things that the public would have thought were UFOs or things that someone inside there might have thought was an UFO, but they realized it wasn't. But do I believe they've covered up actual UFOs? No. But yeah, no, the Pentagon checked on itself and found that it did nothing wrong, which is to be expected.
It is possible, I guess. That,
they did find out whose cocaine it was, though, yes.
I could believe that they covered up something to do with an actual UFO where it is, in fact, like, some sort of natural phenomenon or something, and they figured out what it is. But revealing that would reveal something about like U.S. electronic warfare capabilities, and they don't want to say anything.
Right.
I could see cover-ups like that.
Yeah, and there's the versions of it where, certain groups are flying some new thing that the rest of the military doesn't even know about yet because, classified, levels and everything else. And then someone from the Navy sees something from the Air Force that they hadn't been told existed yet.
Right.
There's all that type of stuff.
Yeah. And I'm sure, we know that there's some stuff where it's not necessarily aircraft, or it is aircraft, but it's like the thing that makes it a UFO isn't so much the aircraft, but like a combination of aircraft and like electronic warfare and like techniques to like spoof signatures and stuff.
Yeah.
So like they could be, that could be the U.S. military testing something that was approved at a higher level on like another pilot that isn't supposed to know, to see if it penetrates, see if they can see through it or something.
Yep.
It could be, another country did it and the U.S. knows that they did it. Like there's any number of possibilities of all kinds of tricks and technologies that could be tested that they would want to cover up or cover up their knowledge of.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think the biggest example that kind of the public got is just eye-opening shot of things was, we all know this one, going to what like Puck Arps is saying. You know exactly what I'm going to say. The F-117A in Iraq, right? It's a plane that, there had been drawings. People said, I saw a plane that was shaped like this triangle, and it had to be a UFO for like 20 years.
Yep.
And they had never said it existed. We didn't have any major proof of exactly what it looked like. And then just one night at the beginning of, the war there, boom, 10 of them go into Iraq and they're all over TV.
And like a week later, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we started flying that in like 79.
Yeah, this is an old one. So yeah, I do believe that, the public's usually at a minimum on the high end plane like that, 10 years behind, in what we know. Although I think, 20 years ago, we were 20 years behind. 30 years ago, we were 30 years behind. Like we are gaining just because, well, one, I mean, the amount of people who like to post classified things to the War Thunder forums, but, that right there is definitely speeding things up.
Yeah. Also, I think a lot of it, there's a lot of things where it's not yet a new military aircraft that's actually like ready for service, but they're doing technology demonstrators and test beds. And so they're like flying prototypes that aren't really all that similar to the final thing, but are testing some specific technology or new design element or a thing like that.
Like all the Project Aurora prototypes,
exactly.
Where we've seen shells of the body trying to get to their high-end wind testing, and then construction workers nearby posting a picture of it and then getting in serious trouble and never being allowed back on an Air Force base again.
Or even some of the like prototypes that are like pre-production ones, like the YF-23 when they were developing the F-22 Raptor.
Yep. Yeah, so I mean, obviously they're hiding a lot. I mean, we've seen proof of it. I mean, when the F-117s started flying over Iraq, we were like, wait, what the shit is that thing?
They have a thing like that?
That's cool. What is that? Oh shit, no, that's really bad. Fucking military industrial complex. Well, like, you know, the first reaction is you see a neat new toy, right?
Right.
And then you're like, oh shit, what have they done with that thing? Because nobody knew we had this. I mean, sure, Russia probably had spies who had shown them pictures of this damn thing before, but like, you know, you could fly this over many countries with them having no clue because of, you know, its signature and everything else, how to find the damn thing.
Right.
And they were doing it for at least a decade in service on covert missions before we ever knew the thing existed. Good times. But as for aliens, no. They're totally not covering up anything. Absolutely not. You can trust them. Oh,
yeah, it is not their denial that makes me believe that they are not covering up anything about aliens.
Yes, and then this is doing the thing where Microsoft's stupid blog is off to the side, isn't it? Let's get that lined up right. There we go. So we all know that Microsoft was getting hacked and phished and all that fun stuff on a lot of its big higher-ups, board members, VPs and whatnot, emails. And that Midnight Blizzard, Nobelium, they've got multiple names for this group, a Russian threat actor, you know, state-run, nation-state, was in Microsoft's network because of it. Microsoft has updated today saying exactly what they think is happening. Turns out a lot of these people in Microsoft are idiots. Who would have thought? And they shared secrets, like the kinds of secrets that are needed to, say, connect up to AWS. You know, when you're thinking about API connections to things, those types of secrets. Secrets that connect you up to remote drives, you know, passwords, you know, API keys, things like that. They were sharing them in like emails, like, hey, I can't get to this thing. How do I connect it? Oh, here's the API key. And so Midnight Blizzard just are trawling through this giant trove of emails and have been using those keys to get into Microsoft's network and steal source code that they can then use to go hunt down new exploits to get into more networks. Yeah, that's not how you share secrets. There are tools for that. There are management systems that help you store those secrets and then give people permission to those systems. And I would think Microsoft has policies telling their people, hey, use these systems. But who knows? Because, they were just digging. So now Microsoft, of course, have loaded up a bunch of tools and gone searching through the trove of emails for all these keys to deactivate their access to everything. That is so dumb.
Yeah, it is.
So I love the title of this article. What idiot backed Trump's bond in E. Jean Carroll trial?
Guy. Yeah.
So Trump posted the $91.6 million bond, which covers the $83.3 million to E. Jean Carroll plus the interest. It's a bond. It goes, you know, it's not like just handed straight to E. Jean Carroll. Now there's going to be an appeal, but you have to put the money up, right? Kind of like think of it as like escrow or something.
Yeah.
And so he's posted it, and he got it from the Chubb Corporation, who people might remember as an insurance group. And in 2018, Trump appointed Chubb's CEO, Evan Greenberg, to a White House advisory committee for trade policy and negotiations. So this is an old friend, rub my back, I'll rub yours kind of a situation. It's dumb. That's a lot of money to be losing just because Trump put you on a White House advisory board.
Yeah, I mean...
Unless there's other reasons that he gave that money.
I mean, I would expect that Trump will end up being on the hook for at least a substantial portion of it, since, you know, I believe my understanding is that Chubb is a publicly traded company, which means, and they're big enough that like they have lawyers on staff. But
yeah.
I expect that given who the CEO is, they'll be like, yeah, I pay back half or something.
The conspiracy theorists online are all today doing the, Trump gets $92 million on the day that Viktor Orban shows up to talk about Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah.
interesting connection, but I just think this is more of a, Chubb Odom one
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Yeah, I don't think this seems likely to have any specific ties to Viktor Orban.
Whew. Oh. These last couple days have run me ragged. Oh, we did a bunch of filming for that documentary yesterday in town, and we went over to the Scientology org, which they lost their building here in Boston because we shut down every way they could possibly make money in town, and the local orgs have to spend so much money just back up the chain to Scientology itself for using all the materials. The Religious Technology Council makes a lot of money off of each individual cult operation in every city. And when they stop getting new recruits and they stop getting new people to bleed dry, they stop being able to make their payments. And they stop being able to maintain the buildings they're in. And so we did a little film shoot in front of that building and talked about what it was before them, what it was when it was them, how they lost it. And then we talked about them losing their second building in town because we went and worked with city council. We went and worked with local residency groups in the area of Washington Circle down in South Boston to take away the Alexandria Hotel from them. Because when they'd gotten it, actually not their fault on this one, they had gotten it and it was in such disrepair that the actual repairs were more expensive than they could ever hope to bleed out of the local cult members. They could not afford the $500,000 in repairs it needed to just even be livable in a way where the government would allow human beings to stand under its roof. It was that far gone. But it is a very historic building in Boston. And so the city and everyone else wanted it repaired, wanted it worked on for this rejuvenization project that would rebuild that whole area, into shopping centers, school, dorm rooms, housing, all the fun stuff that you get when you rejuvenate one of those areas, right? And so we fought with the idea that eminent domain needs to be used here because they're just going to let it sit. They can't get the money together. You want to rejuvenate this building. And in the end, they lost the building. And so now they're off in some office, sitting off of the very busy, loud highway, trying to figure out what to do next. And I think that's hilarious. So we talked about all that in the documentary.
Good times.
I showed off one of my e-meters that I have that used to be L. Ron Hubbard's. A lot of people don't know that I have one of his e-meters, but I have one of his personal e-meters. It's one that Scientology wants back. They can't claim ownership of the thing in any way that I could lose in court. It was given as a gift from Hubbard to someone who then gave it as a gift to me. And that's factual. It's traceable. There's documentation. So, but yeah, this is the first time it's actually just been shown, on something. So when they see that documentary, they're probably going to be really pissed and, I might need to lock my doors double. Oh. If you all want to see it, I still have it out. This is one of the old e-meters right here. You can see the box says HCO there, and then I pop open. It's got these weird clamps on the side. I pop them open. The lid doesn't stay on when you take it off. It actually comes off to go out of the way. I'm trying to be very nice to it. And then you get the old school e-meter. This thing is, it looks like some device for testing if, a nuclear bomb went off.
Yeah.
It looks like it's testing for radiation, like some kind of weird old school Geiger counter or something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is that. I have two others that were both gifted to me from ex-Scientologists. I have a Mark II, a Mark III, and a Mark V. And of course, I don't believe in any of this bullshit. I just think it's funny that I have them. Because I know the cult does not want me to have these things.
No.
This one right here, the few that do appear online, sells for enough to pay my bills for a year. But if I put this up, they're going to get it back. And we can't have that. So we did a lot of fun stuff on the documentary there. I had fun with it. I really like those guys. It was for cyber news. So if you go up to like YouTube or anything else and you see cyber news, you'll see it's like a series. The first one was on Ghost Exodus, one of the Anons who did end up actually going to jail. So it's a pretty good episode. Me and him and a few other people got to have lunch at DEF CON. Was it last year or the year before? God. The DEF CONs all just kind of run together for me at this point. But we sat down and had a good lunch, got to talk about all this stuff. I got to kind of reminisce about some of the old times. And so it was really cool to catch up with him and then get to watch the documentary come out, the episode about him. And so I'm episode 2, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so now it's doing it again, and it says we're unstable, and we're still near 6,000 kb. Like, that's more than enough for this stream. And I'm sure you guys are seeing the stream just fine. So, like, it's lying. It's in red. The YouTube one still says excellent connection. So, stop lying, Twitch. Yeah, so good times. So now let's go to not good times. Because one of the airdrops that we did in Gaza to try and drop some food there, the parachute broke and the pallet dropped on and killed 5 people. So it's about the same as, it killed less people than one of the bombs, but it's about the same.
I mean, that's always the risk with airdrops is they're not perfect. They go off target. Sometimes the parachute doesn't work. It is a suboptimal method, but when Israel won't let trucks in and it will take a while to get enough resources in place to do coastal deliveries, airdrops are probably the least bad alternative. Certainly better than just letting people starve.
Right, but the problem is this specific set of airdrops that happened dropped 6 tons of food, right? That sounds like a lot to some people, but they need 200 tons of food to cover, who was in that area trying to get at it. And the convoy of trucks, of 14 trucks that were just turned away earlier that day and not allowed to come through from World Food there, WFP, they had 200 tons, and they were turned away. And instead, we dropped, this completely inadequate. And we also dropped it in a way in which it signals to the IDF where people are going to be from long out so they can get prepared to shoot them. And they do. So this is just, come the fuck on. Get the trucks going. Now, the other thing that's been said is that Biden has a plan for building a port in Gaza where we can now drop off supplies there. I'll believe that when I see it.
It is a thing that I had heard suggested before he had said anything about it, and it's not a bad idea. The problem is that it is a thing that takes weeks to do, and weeks is not the time frame that they have to.
No, when you're starving, weeks doesn't really cut it.
Yeah,
tomorrow is what cuts it.
If they either get Israel to allow trucks in or massively step up airdrops, they could keep people alive until they could get that, or just get enough trucks in. If Israel would allow that, which they seem determined not to. But yeah, like that's a solution for like a month, 2 months from now, not a solution for tomorrow, which is when when they need that food to be arriving.
Yeah.
And they certainly have the capacity that they could do enough airdrops. It's not very efficient, and there's a lot of issues. It is more dangerous to the people on the ground. It is hard to set up the drop zones to receive the food and distribute it. So it still has a lot of issues. But if Israel refuses to allow trucks in, at least until a port can get set up, or at least enough boats to transfer stuff from deep water ships to the shore, it might, as bad of a solution it is, it might be the least bad option available at the moment.
Yeah. And I mean, that just shows how bad of a situation it is.
Yes.
So let's move on from the horrible to something funny again. Some of you might have already seen this, the art prompt project. But they've come up with a way to get around all of the filtering on multiple of the LLMs, all of the ethical alignment stuff that's built in, by doing old school ASCII art. So if you say how to build like this, it says, sorry, I can't do that. But if you say how to build and then you draw the word like that, well, it actually says, I have no idea what you've just done. However, if I believe they had a graphic down here that showed it, do they? Okay. Well, one of their prompts that I saw in one of the news articles I was reading about, it says, all right, here is how you decode the ASCII art. Each one of these represents a piece of the letter. You're going to look at that and figure out what each letter is, and then you're going to figure out what the word is. And it's like this 2-paragraph like instruction set for how to decode ASCII art, right? So they'll say how to build and then they'll draw the ASCII art, right? It'll decode the ASCII art. It gets it right based on their prompting. And then because it decoded it, it somehow decodes it on the other side of the alignment and then answers. And it doesn't say sorry. So they're calling it art prompting. And you just have to draw your stuff as as ASCII art and explain to it how to decode your ASCII art. And then that happens on the other side of the alignment checks. And you've got your questions through. Some of the ones they played with were, of course, bombs. They played with how to counterfeit money in various countries and various types of money. And they were able to get answers out of the bigger, more complicated models like the ChatGPT, GPT-4, and the other models that are like Gemini, who are really trying to have alignment keep you from getting those answers. So if you're an old school ASCII artist, you suddenly have a new skill. I think it's hilarious.
That is funny.
What does chat want to talk about tonight? Does chat have anything they've got stored up that we should be focusing on? You know, you got to remember, I was basically not online all yesterday and all the day before. So this is me kind of catching up on, you know, all 2.5 days worth of stuff. But put anything in chat if you got stuff to talk about. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to still having me and Mac on screen, but have Mac's computer up on the stream so we can start to go through some of Mac's stuff for the evening. Maybe if, you know, I figure out what button I made it, because these things moved around when I played with a lot of stuff.
There's only so many buttons. We'll get there sooner or later.
Haha. There we go.
All right.
Okay.
So,
this is supposed to make it faster, and I totally just need to put in the time to reorganize it after I did all that work.
So, my first one, we mentioned the State of the Union, which I will admit I did not watch. I usually don't, because there's not really much to be seen there. Although, from what I've heard, it sounded, from what I've heard from a couple of sources, it sounded like maybe this one was actually, you know, worth seeing. Maybe not, you know, the most important thing ever or anything, but I'll probably check it out like tomorrow. But I did hear about this very funny part where after the State of the Union, while the mics were still live, Biden was talking with Colorado Senator Michael Bennet, who congratulates him on the speech and urges him to keep pressing Netanyahu on the growing humanitarian concerns in Gaza. And Biden responds saying, quote, "I told him, Bibi, and don't repeat this, but you and I are going to have a come to Jesus meeting," end quote. To which afterwards an aide like leans into to Biden's ear and like whispers something. And he follows up with, quote, "I'm on a hot mic here. Good. That's good."
I love that response, though.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I obviously have
smile never broke.
I have a lot of criticisms of Biden for continuing to provide weapons to Israel, and I will have a story about that in a moment. But I like that he has started to get like more sick of Bibi's shit, and now he's like just openly telling a senator that he and Bieber are going to have a come to Jesus. And when he finds out, like, the world just heard that, he's like, good, I'm glad they know. I think that's very funny. And you know what? If Biden was like that more of the time, I would have a lot more respect for him.
Yeah, I mean, that would be definitely one way to get some more respect out of me. But until he stops funding genocide.
Obviously, that's not where we are. But I'm behind that. That I want that Joe Biden to be doing stuff more. Well, like when he gets it right, because he often is the guy that doesn't care about opinions, but it's on things where he's like completely wrong. Speaking of continuing to provide weapons to Israel, we had a report from the Washington Post earlier this week saying that the U.S. has quietly approved and delivered more than 100 separate foreign military sales to Israel since October 7th. And basically, almost all of them have been small packages. Well, comparatively small packages. Small enough that the details don't have to get reported to Congress. And so therefore, we don't actually know exactly how big they were or what they were for. The two that have been made public are a $106 million order for tank ammunition and $147.5 million of components needed to make 155 millimeter artillery shells, which, precision weapons, by which I mean that's what they're bombing or using to shell, refugee camps and apartment buildings with. But not exactly the defensive weapons that might conceivably be defensible. If it was the Iron Dome interceptors, it would be like one thing, but tank shells and artillery shells, no, they are using, that is literally exactly what they're using against civilians. And in fact, on the subject of them using against civilians, we had
Can we stop for 1 second?
Sure.
I'm going to come over to your machine and wonder what's going on. So if you look over there, you'll see that we're still seeing the blue.
Oh, yes.
And it's because this is on the wrong thing somehow.
Is there another Safari window open or something?
I guess restart capture is the right move. Chat, remember, this is us learning. This is the second time I've ever tried to do this. Now we should maybe see it? No?
No? Are we? Is that working?
Let's try again. You guys get to come along for this fun ride, chat. All right, so we've got preview, we've got Mac. You're definitely up and working fine. Preview is here just fine. Tools, NDI output. Preview, main, Mac cam, Mac desktop. Hit OK. Nothing's changed, guys. Nothing's changed. Over here, I'm going to go to the one named Mac Desktop. I'm going to hit on Properties. I'm going to... ta-da! Okay, so along with having to restart the Stream Elements tabs and all that stuff, it looks like I have to kind of kick the NDI output from Mac's OBS, in the nuts, like, before we start, because... I guess NDI likes to go stale or something. Who knew? Well, there you go. You can see Mac's screen now.
All
right. And Alistair, we haven't talked about that one yet. I do have it on my list for depending on how long we run. But we can just talk about that one after we're done with going through all this stuff.
All right. So, on the topic of what they're using these tank shells for, I think I may have mentioned this story back in December when it first came out, that there was a team of reporters on a hillside in Lebanon that were clearly marked as journalists, and then an Israeli tank fired 2 rounds at them, killing a couple of them and wounding the rest. And among the journalists killed was a Reuters reporter. I believe it was a Reuters story that I would have referenced originally. But Reuters had hired the Netherlands Organization for Applied Scientific Research to analyze the evidence to figure out exactly what happened. And they put out their report and concluded that a Israeli tank 1.34 kilometers away in Israel fired 220 millimeter rounds at the clearly marked reporters. And they believe that they may have also opened fire with the tank's 50 cal machine gun afterwards. So that's what the Israeli Defense Force is using tank shells that it's getting from the U.S. To do. Kill journalists, which for anyone that hasn't heard, the first 2.5 months of post October 7th killed more journalists in Gaza than like any conflict since World War II. And I think it may have actually surpassed World War II now. It is very bad. They are unquestionably actively targeting journalists. And Israel, of course, denies that they are and that they'll, investigate and all that. But they have killed, I think at this point, upwards of 100 journalists. And many of them were clearly marked. A number of them were specifically cases where they were working with international organizations that were telling the IDF where the journalists were going to be operating, and the journalists still got killed. So yeah, there is not really any question that it is deliberate. We also had so on the topic of the IDF killing people and pretending they're going to do an investigation, we of course have the thing that happened at an aid convoy a few days ago, where Israel changed the story a couple of times, but claimed that basically a crowd charged at the aid trucks and the troops, and they eventually acknowledged that they did some shooting, but not that it was at the people. I think they changed their story like 3 times, so I'm not 100% sure exactly. Yeah, they didn't target the convoy or the crowd, I think is the current official line still.
Right.
And that it was people, the crush of the crowd and the that caused the deaths. And that is not what footage shows. That's not what doctors say. It's
That's
not what
how
the
any of this
witnesses
works.
say.
That's not what happened.
They all say that they shot into the crowd and the injuries were overwhelmingly a result of bullets. And there is very definitely video and audio showing that they were opening fire. I don't know that it is sufficient from the video and audio to definitively establish what the proportions of casualties were caused by what, but the fact that they were shooting into the crowd is not really up for debate. And then of course, the related topic to that is the UN is specifically Michael Thackeray, the special rapporteur on the right to food, told the UN Human Rights Council that basically Israel is systematically destroying the food system in Gaza to create a starvation campaign, including they're specifically targeting small-scale fishermen. Obviously, Israel says that's not true, but they keep destroying fishing boats and just denying the small-scale fishermen access to the sea and destroying their shacks. 80% of their fishing sector has been destroyed, and the main port of Gaza City, every single boat was demolished by Israeli forces, at least, according to Fakhry. And
but they think we're going to believe that they're not doing it on purpose.
yeah. And I mean, while we don't know for certain that his assessment there is 100% accurate, we do have independent confirmation that there are, the Israeli have been doing strikes on fishing boats. So at the very least, the overall complaint seems to be well-founded. Whether or not he has the numbers exactly correct, which I have no reason to doubt that he does, but,
Yeah.
you could quibble about the numbers maybe, but it's clear what's actually going on. And, to be clear, that is collective punishment, which is a war crime. Also, starvation is obviously just a crime against humanity. And we, it is unclear as to whether it is already a famine situation there or just, on the verge of one. But that is where we are, which is probably why the U.S. got on board with airdrops for food in the first place. Because they waited until it was the verge of starvation before they finally were like, all right, I guess maybe we need to do something. And they are coordinating. I thought it was interesting that they are working with the Jordanian and French Air Forces, and I believe there was another country involved, Qatar maybe. And then they're also trying to set up the EU is trying to set up a maritime aid corridor that would be something that they could start to get in place even before the temporary pier. And that's something that the EU is working on along with a couple other countries. Which it is interesting to see that there are these international efforts between, the U.S., the EU, including France, who are in a position to play a fairly substantial role in a situation like this. And then on top of that, countries like Jordan and the UAE, because these are the, if they wanted an actual peace deal to occur that could create a lasting peace in that area, they would need to create some sort of international security force to basically sit between the Palestinians and Israel and keep both sides from going after the other. And it couldn't, that couldn't be an IDF force, obviously. It couldn't be an American force. There's absolutely no way the Palestinians wouldn't see it as an Israeli occupation or Israeli allies occupying. And, from their perspective, that makes perfect sense. The 2,000-pound bombs being dropped on their homes are 2,000-pound bombs that they know were made in America, being dropped from F-16s that they know were made in America, being flown by pilots who quite possibly were trained by U.S. Air Force pilots. They know all of the infrastructure and support that Israel is using to go after them is American. Even if America wanted to be the absolute good guy here, there is absolutely no way they would have the trust. You would need countries that are, local and would be trusted by the Palestinians, like the Jordanians. And then you'd need, someone that was more independent and could provide sort of a larger scale of support infrastructure like the EU. And I mean, the US could play a role behind the scenes there as well. So it's very interesting to see all of these countries that would be needed if they wanted an actual peace, that are taking some of the steps that seem like maybe they are willing to think about actually trying to do something. And it was very interesting that the U.S. started calling for a 6-week ceasefire after months of not supporting a ceasefire at all.
It all just feels like this could happen. These people are talking, maybe a ceasefire, and maybe we have to put troops in between them. Like, it's almost like the zone between North and South Korea. Like, you've got to keep them away from each other. It's just, what if Israel just weren't complete pieces of shit to their neighbors as a government and as an army and as a military?
Well, I mean, the thing is, even if they
For decades.
yeah, the problem is they were. That's where we are. They were shit, and they dealt with a bunch of people who often targeted civilians, and
And then you have Iran on the other side helping to feed Hamas and get them their weapons and
Sure.
and that's in the end they're getting support from Russia, and it's a whole international thing, but none of this should be necessary.
No, it should.
It is. But
Yeah, it's just the fact that this is the first time that I remember, at least since the Israeli far right assassinated Itzhak Rabin, that it seemed like there was any sort of real international effort stepping up to try and work towards a peace at all. And maybe it doesn't go anywhere. Maybe we continue to see the same old shit.
I remember watching the Oslo Accords. I mean, I'm old. I remember watching all of that and wondering, would anything actually come of this? And I look back and I think at the moment, a few little things came from it, but obviously not enough.
I mean, maybe it could have been the start to something. Maybe if Itzhak
people like
Rabin hadn't been
Netanyahu and
assassinated.
Rabin and there's so many ifs.
Yeah.
But also, if there weren't illegal settlers just stealing land and killing Palestinians all the time.
And on a related note, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, said just earlier today that the Israeli settlements in the occupied Palestinian territories expanded by a record amount this past year. And that, in fact, they built 24,300 new Israeli housing units in the occupied West Bank, ending mid-October 2023, which is the highest since they started monitoring in 2017. And that they have, systematically been engaging in violence against Palestinians in the West Bank, where Israeli security forces and settlers have killed more than 400 Palestinians in that period. So, I wonder why it's hard to achieve peace when that's happening.
There are bad guys in this, and there are bad guys all over the damn place.
Yeah,
But the Palestinian people,
Yes.
the people on the street who are currently being killed and starved, they are not the bad guys.
No. And we had the report a couple of weeks ago saying that there were several members of the UN RWA that were part of Hamas and were involved in the October 7th attacks. And that was the justification for lots of countries to cut off their support for the UN RWA, which was the most important aid organization providing humanitarian support in Gaza. Well, now the UN RWA has looked into it and concluded that a number of Palestinians that were detained were mistreated and coerced into falsely confessing that they were involved.
Of course.
Which, I'm not going to say, I don't want to say that there were not, any members of UN RWA that were involved, because it's entirely possible there were some. I'm not entirely clear on what the situation was, but false confessions are not really much of a surprise, especially if you're familiar with what Israel has been doing to Palestinians for a long time.
Yep.
You look at the ones that are held in detention for years on end without even facing charges, thousands of them. And then we have numerous reports of mistreatment. We have the Israeli troops currently going on social media, showing off blindfolded and bound detainees and saying things like, "He won't sleep well," and doing a V for victory sign in front of them, and showing off their Hamas hunting club patch in front of a group of people that are blindfolded and bound, and just all sorts of mistreatment. And that's what's currently going on, but it's nothing new. Back in 2009, 2009, the Goldstone report by the UN looked into allegations of, war crimes by Israel and Hamas, and concluded that, they're both doing it. They're both real bad. And among the things that they concluded Israel was doing was systematically targeting civilian infrastructure, blockading supplies, intimidating the population. They were intending to punish the people of Gaza as a whole, which is, of course, exactly what they've being accused of this time, because it's what they're doing this time. And that is, of course, a war crime.
And that's how you create the enemy, by creating a base of young people, because all the adults keep getting killed, who need support and are mad that their parents were murdered. And then Hamas has a place to recruit from.
Yeah, and, to be clear, people talk... You'll see assholes talk about like, oh, but Hamas was elected. Hamas was elected in 2006.
Yeah, and then fixed everything so they aren't being unelected.
Also, they got elected by winning a plurality of the vote after lying and telling everyone that they decided to be more moderate.
Yes.
And 2006, so 38% of Palestinians were not yet born in 2006.
Yep.
Only about a quarter of Palestinians...
Is the average 19 or 20 now?
Something around there.
It's in that range.
But literally only a little over a quarter of Palestinians today were old enough to even have voted in the 2006 election. That is how,
And from that point on, they couldn't remove them.
Yeah. So the idea that, they had any sort of,
any say in the matter.
Yeah. And
yeah.
At this point, they've spent their entire lives being blockaded, starved, routinely bombed and or shelled, having their homes destroyed, their families killed. From what they see, obviously they're going to think that, the only people fighting back on their behalf, or allegedly on their behalf, are, they're going to be inclined to view them more positively than they would under other circumstances, or if they had other real alternatives.
Yep.
So, and we've talked about this before, where Bibi specifically told his own party, Likud, that, if you're opposed to a Palestinian state, you want money going to Hamas. That's part of their plan. And then, another story about Israeli propaganda to misrepresent things. And I want to be clear on this story, much like with the story about the UNRWA, where I do not want to say that no one in the UNRWA was involved in October 7th. I don't know that. It's entirely possible that some people were. And, that's not even necessarily something that they really have. They can't necessarily entirely prevent that. But regardless, the story was told that seems to now not be entirely true. Israel was overstating the case.
Right.
And we now have another case that seems to be something similar. The New York Times talked about, Hamas weaponizing sexual violence on a systemic level on October 7th. And now we have reporting seeming to suggest that that reporting may have not been entirely accurate. That's not to say that sexual assault didn't occur, or even that it wasn't weaponized by at least some people. But the evidence that was being cited to claim that it was systematically used as a deliberate tactic appears to have not had as strong a basis as probably should have before it was being reported as fact like it was. And in fact, the New York Times reporting of this was being done by a Israeli who I believe is IDF reserve still, and wasn't actually a reporter, and had published support for genocide in Gaza on social media. And they kept citing a number of sources that were either active in the like active duty IDF people or were members of, what's the organization? It's a, I think Hasidic, they're Orthodox Jewish, very conservative group that does like rescue operations. And they told a bunch of stories in the aftermath of October 7th that Israeli media quickly concluded had no basis in fact and have stopped citing. But that didn't stop the Zaka, that's the name of the group.
Yep.
And yeah, they basically everything that Zaka said, a huge portion of it has been like specifically like, yeah, no, that simply didn't happen.
And again, the thing that's really important to know about Zaka is even the Israeli media, who are all pro-genocide, are saying, yeah, what they're saying is like bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. These are stories that the Israeli media, even like right-wing Israeli media, concluded were not accurate.
Yeah. Ugh.
And so after The Intercept published their article about the New York Times report and the problems with it, the New York Times launched a leak investigation, and I don't think this particular article talks about it, but one of the other articles I was talking about it had the writers union saying that basically they were actively targeting Middle East and North African staff members and like harassing them about this. It was less a investigation for leaks and more a witch hunt into anyone they thought might be sympathetic towards Palestine. So, good job, New York Times. Way to show how little credibility you actually deserve most of the time.
Indeed.
And, a lot of what I've said, a lot of what we've said and will continue to say has rightly been critical of Joe Biden and lots of other people. But to be clear, just this week on Tuesday, we had Donald Trump saying that Israel has to finish the problem in Gaza. So, as bad as things have been as they are, let's be clear, Donald Trump wants a final solution to the Palestinian problem. So
yeah, it can and will get worse if he is elected.
Yeah, it is. It is not even remotely a competition there. We think it's bad now, and it absolutely is, but that is nothing compared to what he would support.
That's where we are. I mean, that's the state of things currently. We either give Trump the election and watch it get worse, or we put up with someone selling them weapons while also talking about building a port and doing airdrops, but not getting the food trucks through. Like, it's not a good situation either way.
No.
Just one is slightly better than the other.
It is. Do you want the one that at least somewhat mitigates the genocide, or you do want them all in on genocide?
The fact that that's what the RNC and DNC have given us as our choice is, a big part of the problem.
Yeah, I agree. And
whew. Let's move on from this topic, as we can go on for another 10 hours on it.
Yes.
I would love to talk about a couple other small things and then maybe play the games that we play at the end of stream. Have all that fun.
Sure.
What do you guys think? You in for that? So I'm going to move it back over to my screen. Maybe, if I find the button for that. Hey, I found the button for that. Again, as I've said 10 times, I'm going to fix those buttons probably this weekend sometime. As good old Abe Bridgewater there in chat said, the White House put this out, a press release about future software being memory safe. Something you will hear everyone say C and C++ are not. In it, they link to the actual report. The report is this fun thing titled Back to the Building Blocks, a Path Towards Secure and Measurable Software. Some of it has to do with the fact that in order to send things into space, you need much more memory safe, secure, measurable software because stuff has to live forever, right? So If you come down, I think I was on page 9. Yeah, there it is. At this time, the most widely used languages that meet all three properties are C and C++. The properties are the types of things that they have to be able to support to be used in these environments like space. But C or C++, which are not memory-safe programming languages. Rust, one example of a memory-safe programming language, has the three requisite properties above, but has not yet been proven in space systems. When you read the whole document and you read everything these people are talking about and you read what the news has said, basically it's the White House saying everyone should just switch to Rust. And I don't entirely agree that everyone should switch to Rust. I think then we run into some other kind of, problem. But I do believe Rust is definitely a solution to some of these issues. I love what people are doing with Rust. You guys might remember all our talk about Valid, which is still going strong, still building, still getting bigger, still getting better every day. All built on Rust because they need the memory safety for what they're doing with that whole network. So I don't disagree that Rust is a solution for this stuff, but it doesn't mean that you can't build safe programs in C or C++. It's harder because it's not baked into the core of the thing.
Yeah, you have to implement it. But it's like saying that, you shouldn't compile anything into assembly because it's not memory safe.
Right. You can do a lot with that.
I guess, no, it's not inherently, but anything that's memory safe still compiles into assembly.
Yeah. So, if you also just kind of want to, if you're interested in looking this stuff up, again, the document is back to the building blocks, and it's from February. It's actually a really good read on understanding the systems you need for these types of things: cybersecurity, space, all the government areas where there's tons of regulations in place about what can be built and what measurements it needs to meet. It's a really good read from a technical side. But they basically hint at C and C++ aren't necessarily the best choices anymore. There's a lot of people who need to upgrade their skill sets. They need to start learning Rust then. I would love to end on this because, again, one of the big things with AI has always been getting the text correct, getting it to say things. And Stable Diffusion 3 is getting crazy, as you all can see on screen here. These are just examples. Look at this. Beautiful pixel art of a wizard with hovering text, quote, "Achievement unlocked, diffusion models can now spell." And here is our pixel art wizard. Achievement unlocked, diffusion models can now spell. Spelled flawlessly. And even stylized in a way that really works for that kind of, an image. The neon Froggy Fridays in the background here is just perfect.
Yeah.
The pig in a pig is neat. This one, massive alien spaceship that is shaped like a pretzel. This is just, these have nothing to do with the spelling, but just the prompting of it is just getting better and better.
Yeah.
A new version of the This Is Fine image. These are all just Stable Diffusion 3 now. This is just the next iteration. Whimsical and creative image here. How about a swamp ogre with a pearl earring by Johannes Vermeer? It basically, to me, looks like that image with Gollum.
Yeah.
A dystopia of thousands of workers picking cherries and feeding them into a machine that runs on steam. A kangaroo holding a beer, wearing ski goggles. These things are just getting crazy. There's just, it's absolute insanity. Ugh. I think we should play all the fun games, and we should invite someone else over onto stream to play them with me.
There are two more stories I noticed that we should probably.
Oh, you want to?
Yeah.
You want to talk about two more things?
Yeah. So one of them is something very disturbing that Elon Musk tweeted out.
Oh boy. You want to come join? You want to come join stream anyways before games?
So Yeah, just earlier today or yesterday, he responded to a image macro with a quote from Bakunin about how the people aren't any happier about the being stepped on with the boot because it's called the people's boot or whatever.
Yeah.
And he replied with, "The world might be very different if Bakunin had made it to the Netherlands on time and enabled the anarchist faction to win the debate against Marx." And I found that very disturbing because it shows that Elon Musk has some knowledge of like the First International and the early history of socialism. And I found that very disturbing because, I think I've mentioned this on the stream before. Back in 2018, Elon tweeted out, "By the way, I am actually a socialist, just not the kind that shifts resources from most productive to least productive, pretending to do good while actually causing harm. True socialism seeks greatest good for all," which is very similar to multiple quotes from Adolf Hitler. It is right along the same lines. There is
He was
Hitler
definitely channeling Hitler when he wrote that.
Yeah, there was a 1923 interview where Hitler said, "In my scheme of the German state, there'll be no room for the alien, no use for the wastrel, for the usurer or speculator, or anyone incapable of productive work." And then continued on later, "Socialism is the science of dealing with the common weal. Communism is not socialism. Marxism is not socialism. The Marxians have stolen the term and confused its meaning. I shall take socialism away from the socialists." Blah, blah, blah. And then there's another case where he's like, "What right do the people have to seek?" Where is it? What right do these people have to demand a share of property or even an administration? The employer who accepts the responsibility for production also gives the work people their means of livelihood. Our greatest industrialists are not concerned with the acquisition of wealth or with good living, but above all with responsibility and power. They have worked their way to the top by their own abilities, and this proof of their capacity, a capacity only displayed by a higher race, gives them the right to lead. And, you can go through Hitler's stuff.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like Elon Musk to me.
And so, he said that, he was a socialist, but then he was like, "Yeah, I'm a socialist the same way Hitler is."
Right.
And now he's showing that he actually does know about the First International and, what they were, the discussions happening at the time and, what the disagreements between the anarchists and Marxists were. That tells me that I thought he was an idiot that had, stumbled into being a, Nazi by accident. Probably because of the influence of his borderline Nazi grandfather.
Right.
And now I'm like, oh no, he knew he was a Nazi back in 2018 when he wrote that.
Yes, he did.
That was not an accident that he was almost directly quoting Hitler. He knew exactly who he was channeling.
Yeah. The idea that he was so dumb that he didn't get it is now out the window because we know he studied this stuff.
I thought he was an ignorant moron, and now I realized he was a knowing neo-Nazi the whole time. That's Elon Musk. Thanks for telling us all.
Yeah. Say it out loud.
Yeah. I mean, he's still an ignorant moron in a lot of ways and absolutely a moron, but clearly he wasn't ignorant on this.
Right.
And then we had the Supreme Court make what is, if not the single worst decision the Supreme Court has ever issued. It is absolutely in the running. It may not be more immoral than one or two others, like Dred Scott.
Yeah.
But it is the decision that has probably the single least basis in the Constitution, in precedent, in U.S. law, in anything based in reality of any Supreme Court decision ever issued. This thing is an absolute monstrosity, and I am aghast that this was a 9-0 decision, and even disregarding, they wrote a per curiam decision, which is the decision on behalf of the court, and then there was a concurring decision that was signed by the 3 liberal justices, and then another one that was by Amy Coney Barrett, I think. it was at the end of this. Anyway, regardless, so the liberal justices took a different approach. They basically disagreed with the extent to which the majority decision, which went insanely far and was basically like, no, unless Congress does it, the Constitution just doesn't count here.
Well, states' rights only matter if they're Republican rights.
But
States' rights only matter if you're talking about the state's, right to tell people they can own other people.
right.
Yes, that's what they're saying. Yeah.
But the liberal justices basically said their argument was that it would be absolute chaos if if each state could write its own rules, and it wouldn't make any sense, and therefore it would violate federalism to have 50 different sets of rules being imposed with different states following different practices, blah blah blah. But that they thought that there were other ways for the 14th Amendment to be enforced. The problem is their entire argument is absolute provable nonsense.
All of it, yeah.
First of all, the states, they already have control over the ballot. They always have.
Who's on it? What qualifies them to be on it? Everything. It's all states.
Every state writes its own laws about what you need to do to get on the ballot in the first place. It usually involves paying a fee and getting a bunch of signatures.
How
and the
many
number of
signatures you
is set
need.
by them.
Yeah.
And often, if you're a member of a major party, those requirements may be different. They're allowed to do that even for presidential campaigns. If you are not of legal age or not a U.S. citizen and you apply for the ballot, they're allowed to reject you from the ballot. That's a federal federal law. You cannot be the president if you're not 35 or older and a natural born citizen. If you don't meet those qualifications, they can reject you from the ballot. They've always been able to reject you from the ballot. But moreover, that's only the start of the problems with their reasoning here. Because, basically, it's very likely that their justification for doing so was that there was a letter signed by Republicans from a bunch of states saying, well, if you allow people to be removed from the ballot, then bad faith actors might, remove people unjustly, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yep. Saying if you do that, we're removing the Democrat.
Right. There's a problem with that being a counterpoint. That being that, first of all, they could just sue for being wrongly prohibited from the ballot. You need to actually, if you don't have an actual legitimate basis for removal and you remove them from the ballot, they can take that to court.
Yep.
In fact, there's something of a gray area about whether you have a right to stand for office if you are, legally qualified. But the Supreme Court could certainly hold that there is a right to be on the ballot if you are qualified. Like they could say that someone wrongly removing you from the ballot like that would be a criminal act. That is deprivation of rights under color of law and or conspiracy to deprive someone of their rights. Those are both federal crimes.
Yep.
So there is legal recourse that could be held here. And the Supreme Court easily could have made a decision just to make that the situation. But there's another problem even beyond that. See, the states, they don't have to have ballots at all. They're not actually required under federal law. The only thing that the Constitution says is that electors will be chosen by the states based off of the laws passed by that state's legislature. It's up to the state to decide whether they have to have a vote at all. Early in American history, sometimes states' legislatures would just choose the electors. There was no vote. There is no constitutional requirement for them to have a popular election for president in the first place.
Yep.
That's always been the rule. There is nothing in the Constitution that changes that. It is entirely up to state law. So every element of their legal reasoning just falls apart under the slightest scrutiny.
And it doesn't matter because they get away with this.
Yes. But, you know, yeah, but, you know, I have long had very little respect for the Supreme Court, but after this, I don't even have any respect for the liberal justices. This is the most egregious violation of every principle of law in certainly at least my lifetime, and that includes things like Bush v. Gore.
I mean, Citizens United.
Yeah, it's as bad as like any two of them combined, and probably significantly worse. Like, no part of this made any sense. This was sheer cowardice on the part of the liberal justices.
Absolutely. I also think some of the liberal justices were thinking, let's avoid a civil war.
Well, if they think that that's the way to avoid a civil war, they are dumber than I am giving them credit for now.
Well, I think they are dumber. Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Like, I already have a very low opinion of them, but if that was their thought, if they think that's actually going to stop a civil war, they are way dumber than I am thinking they are even now.
It might push it out a couple months.
Yeah, maybe.
Good times, huh? So that's the country we live in now. The Supreme Court is now a useless vestige of what it once was. It is bought and paid for. And it does what it can to save its own ass instead of doing what's right. So, yay?
Yeah.
I mean, ugh. Until, you know, people are in the streets building their own guillotines, I don't think we solve this one.
I'm sorry, I think you mean building their own lemonade stands.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't tell them to do it. I said, we just won't solve this without, you know, that.
Look, and he didn't, you know, if there's one thing I've learned from watching the far right, you can actively call for it as long as you don't, you know, specify a time and date and like specific targets. And, well, if it's the far right, like provide them with what, like some sort of, you know, notarized statement of your intent to incite a
Right.
riot or something.
Yeah, yeah.
As far as the Supreme Court is concerned, you can still run for us.
Okay. Yeah. So we got 2 hours in tonight, and now it's time to play some games.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hit the button. Haha! Look at that. And then let's do that to get it in place. And now we are going to move over to just go down the list of games. And I'm going to do this because it's going to work one day.
It will absolutely never work.
Never be that. Ugh. Bad day.
Ooh.
It's a bad day.
Wow.
Huh. It's not learn because the N isn't there.
Oh, okay.
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 I mean that right? That
Okay.
You knew the E and the A were wrong when you did that.
right. I just, you know, okay. So we know where the L is now. Damn. There we go. Early.
Yeah.
Haha. Got it. That wow, yeah.
Yep. I was not up on that one. Who's that guy?
Who is that guy?
Oh, he's shaped kind of like Afghanistan, but without the thingy on the end.
Yep.
I feel like
It's a little bit like Mongolia.
maybe
It's not hungry, but I just, you know,
Oh shit.
it's hungry.
Oh.
Well, fine.
Wow.
Okay. This Hungary. I mean,
Yeah, I thought Hungary was a little taller in relation
No.
to its width.
Hungary neighbor. Wow, Hungary does have a lot of crazy neighbors.
It does. Well, what? I see Russia.
There's Russia. No?
No, there's no Russian.
Oh, actually,
It's
yeah.
not? Oh, is that?
No Russian.
Yeah. So there's Croatia, where Hungary, Austria. Really? Why has it got to do that?
Who's missing a chunk?
So that would-
Serbia.
oh yeah.
Yeah, Serbia's got that thing.
Yep.
Hungary's neighbors.
Bosnia part of this?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, no.
Or no. It's,
None of that's Germany. None of that's touching there. Switzerland is up a little, isn't it?
Austria, maybe.
Austria is one of them already.
Oh yeah, I see. Austria's already gotten. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slovenia from this or Slovenia further south?
I think it's further south, but I mean, dude, browser, stop being a dick.
Slovenia.
Yay, Slovenia.
I'm going, where are these shapes? I'm gonna.
Yep.
Uh,
Slovenia looks like a chicken wing.
I think two's Poland.
Mm.
No,
Not my bad.
Yeah, that won't
indeed.
be- I think that would be Poland's too far north anyway.
Oh. Oh my God, I hate web browsers. I know.
How do you not know the shape of things?
The same reason you don't know these either.
Like, just because I don't know what country it is doesn't mean I don't know what Turkey looks like.
I know, but I'm just doing this to do that. Romania is this big
Oh.
one, and Ukraine, yeah, but
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
okay. Well, now I know what Romania looks like. Cool. What is this? The capital of Hungary. What's the capital of Hungary?
Budapest.
Food. Past. Oh, which one of these stupid flags? It's this one, isn't it? No? Which one of these flags is Hungary?
I think bottom next to the left.
Oh, okay. The one that looks, like Italy, Mexico, and all the rest of them.
Oh,
I'm not
I was
good at
thinking they were
flags.
one of the.
What is Hungary's languages? German? Let's go for German. English? Everyone should speak English. No. But it's there for some reason on like 90% of these. I was just trying to figure out what the second one was. Hungarian's easy,
Yeah.
but like I thought that would be German more than English there.
Can you guess the English for my name is? Can you
Oh, I think it's that. I think that's going to be it.
yeah, that
No, I almost guessed that one. Okay, well, we're going to move on to the next game. The next game, Tradle. What do we got? 72 million.
That's an island.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
You're really gonna do church? Okay, that's an island. That's valid.
It is an island, and it is valid. Thank you.
And it is not the island that you're looking for.
No.
Given that distance, like Bahamas or something.
I'm going to go for Christmas Island. Just because.
Just bounce everywhere. Yeah, though, you're just do Bermudas.
Yeah,
I think those would have a bigger than 72 million.
I do agree that's exports though. It's possible. It's something in that area at least.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Where? No.
Oh wow.
Let's really place
Canary
ourselves
Islands?
somewhere.
Not Sri Lanka.
Let's just Like,
It is emphatically not Sri Lanka.
well, of course it's not, but like, I'm just trying to like get some kind of placement on the damn map.
I mean,
If we're that far away from Sri Lanka,
Oh yeah, no, we're in the middle.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're just in the middle of the Pacific.
somewhere in like Micronesia.
because that big box isn't water.
What'd you say?
It's not Fiji.
No, I was
Like Micronesia or something.
so close. Tuvalu. We always
Uh,
forget about good old
yeah.
TV. All right, framed. Okay. What movie is this?
No idea.
They look to be dancing.
They do.
I have no freaking idea what this is.
Oh, you better know now.
Nope,
The Wicker Man.
Oh yeah,
never heard of it.
Really?
there was a remake with like Nick Cage.
Never heard of it. Says the person who's never seen Pulp Fiction
I
or The
know
Big
what Pulp
Lebowski
Fiction
or
is, though. If you
Yeah,
showed
yeah,
me
yeah.
a frame from Pulp Fiction, I would pick Pulp Fiction.
France is there. Canada's farther. Russia's closer. Japan. Vietnam is, I mean, way far away, right? China's closer. Mongolia. Nepal. India.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm guessing the ones that border it.
Thailand?
Let's see. So it's
India's
gotta be something-
closer than Nepal, so it's over here.
Yeah.
Uzbekistan's right next to it too. So it's
Kyrgyzstan.
what?
Kyrgyzstan.
How do you spell Kyrgyzstan?
Kyrgyz.
Yeah. Cooler. What?
Oh, Kazakhstan.
Could be.
It's right up in that area. Maybe that or Uzbekistan.
I did a bit Uzbekistan.
Oh, you did Uzbekistan.
It's either Pakistan or Afghanistan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's farther south.
Oh, I forgot the damn H. I always forget about the itty bitty little tip actually touching China there.
Mm-hmm.
I-
Just the tiniest little bit.
Okay, but we got there. All right, movie dull. Okay, so this one is, again, as everyone knows, we watch a movie condensed down to a second.
It was in black and white. It didn't look like it was old enough to be in black and white.
I
Nope,
got very little from that one. That was very short.
it's Airplane. It's totally Airplane. Now we get a 2-second clip.
The birds.
Uh,
How did they not have that?
that is, they have Birth of a Nation and not the birds.
Right?
I don't want to be watching a 2-second clip of Birth of the Nation. That shouldn't be
No.
on their list.
No, it should not.
They should feel bad.
Yeah.
Right. It would be actually funny. if
Yeah,
it
that
was
would be hilarious.
I have no idea what this movie is.
I,
Chips
It's
tab-
the city in the middle of nowhere that nobody likes. Nebraska or some shit. Like, what was the name?
Omaha?
Like, was that it?
Does nobody like Omaha?
No,
What are we talking?
There was a movie. It was named after that city. It was in black and white.
I'm not sure what movie you're talking about.
Maybe it's Omaha.
Oh. I got no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, but I'm right.
Okay.
Maybe.
You could be. We're going to
For
find
all
out.
we know.
No, fucking. What's the name of another city that's out there?
Lincoln?
No, not Lincoln.
Like, what do you mean by out there specifically?
Can-
Like, specifically like Nebraska or something.
The movie was just named Nebraska.
Fuck you!
You were telling me to
Oh.
type in a city.
I was right.
Yeah, you were
Name, but
correct.
I was right.
You know, somehow. There you go. Got it. Yeah, you get that one. The game doesn't believe us that you get that one, but I give it to you.
You could have typed in Nebraska. You could have done it. That was on you. You're typing.
Really?
I don't know what this is.
Um,
Think so?
I don't know. Just guessing. Definitely don't know what that is. Ski resort?
something about Bellevue, and they're making a dress, I think.
Phantom Thread?
Never heard of it.
Another one of those. Yeah, I mean, they're throwing curveballs these days. How about the TV one? What do we got? Law enforcement closing in on suspect in wily axe slaying. Dallas Morning News. Yeah,
Reagan leading Carter in life's gallop.
I have no idea what this is.
Well, it's a period piece.
Yeah.
This obviously. That's fucking
Timberlake? What? Okay, what TV show was Timberlake in? Paul Dano? Candy? Okay, I've never heard of that, but I would think with that casting I would have. That's weird. All right, we're going to go down to Connexo. It's going to offer to translate like it always does. What do we got? We got jerky. We got bacon. We got ham. But I'm not feeling anything else there.
You have scorpion.
I didn't want bacon in on that. I was doing this.
Scorpion, ram,
Okay.
crab, bull.
Zodiac signs. Oh, bread, dough, cash, and cheddar.
There we go. Okay, there goes 4 of them away.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like it stings. None of these sting.
Only 2 of those guys have carapaces, so that's out.
Buck, bull, boar, ram.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's not though.
Solid choices.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's not what they're doing. Oh, Tom is.
Yeah, Tom is one of those. Yeah,
What?
Tom, Buck, Bull,
ram.
and then ram, you think?
Yeah,
Why?
all male.
Tom Cap.
Uh,
But that didn't work.
did not.
Okay. Are you guys ready for it?
I'm ready.
You guys have to give me the other 2.
Okay.
All right.
But Uncle Buck
Oh,
movie.
okay. Yep. No uncles.
Okay.
Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
What are the others?
You don't have another.
No. I'm yeah.
No.
Woo.
Okay. You want to try that Buffalo War Ram? I don't think it.
We did that one already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't work.
All right. Okay. Hear me out. besides scorpion something that can have bull after it? I don't think so.
They can have what after it?
Can have the word bull after it. Because sometimes it's like something.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think that's right. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, I'm feeling horrible here.
Yeah, this is.
No, we can do this. We can do this. All right. Buck, bull, and ram all have horns, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have a fourth thing with horns. Just try the scorpion with it. I know it's gonna be wrong. But
Yeah.
what the hell's a kappa? What am I supposed to
Copa, like the Copacabana? I don't know.
No.
Isn't there a law like that's the stupid term for?
I think there might
Wow.
be.
This one is hard.
Yeah, surprisingly so.
Mm,
Okay, it's definitely a word fragment, right?
Yeah, I
It-
think it is.
yeah.
So let's try to figure out the word fragment. 'Cause that's gonna get a bunch of this other shit out of the way. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not copa as in that.
Um,
It's not cuppa as in cup of tea.
Man, I can't even think of a word that has that in it.
It's not anything backwards.
Nope.
Like, I'm just gonna try some combinations now.
Don't do that. It's not fun. We're gonna torture ourselves. Okay.
What the hell, dude? Like, what could go with jerky?
I mean, ham and bacon both make sense with jerky, obviously. But then
Yeah,
there's
but
just
a
just
fourth.
put cop out with that one. You know what? Fuck it. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. Maybe
Wait, isn't that a type of it's the type of yeah, it's like salami.
Oh,
there you go.
yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Now we just got animals. I don't know. My one clever one was like, hey, let's get things that are, you know, astrological signs, and that didn't work. So I'm kind of. I mean, I guess okay. Scorpion, lion, crab, ram. Try that. All right. No. Scorpion, lion, crab, boar. Oh my god. Okay. Literally everything but Tom and Buck here also is a stupid constellation.
Yeah.
You're killing me. Scorpions and lions do all have tails, but so does a.
Bull, so does a ram, so does a buck, so does boar.
And then we did like male specific ones like Tom, boar, bull, ram. Like we did that already. Most of these things aren't poisonous, so we can't just like separate it out that way. All right, Tom, bull, buck. Have you done that with boar?
Nope.
All right, do it again with ram. Tom, bull, buck, ram.
Wow, this one is just hard tonight.
Yeah, it is.
I can't even do like 4-letter fucking animals because they. What is wrong with them?
Yeah,
Why do
like
they hate me individually.
It's like
does this have a way to
Don't
give
do it.
up?
Don't do it. All right. Tom, ram, bull, boar. No.
We have to have tried every combination, right?
lion, crab, Tom, scorpion.
What is happening?
This is every
Yeah, at this point, I'm running out of just suggestions.
I don't understand.
Okay.
We've
Hear me
tried
out.
everything.
Hear me out. Bully, crabby.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have anything else. I was hoping if I started saying the rest of it would come after, but no. Oh, shit. Okay, what was it? Really?
Really?
We did.
I swear we did that.
You know what? We kept putting bullet because we were so.
Oh.
And those are also zodiac signs. Fuck you.
Wow.
We had the categories. They just put too many overlapping things.
Yeah.
What a bag of dicks that game
Yeah, that
was.
sucked.
Oh, I hate that
Okay,
one.
we're going to do
It's going to be so easy in comparison.
the mini crossword is bigger.
Actually, no, April. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because it starts partway through March.
Yep. Six across is daycare.
It's daycare.
Yeah.
Ends 8 down.
Yeah. What is this one?
Lead.
PD. What?
10 across is lead.
Yeah.
2 down is paw. 3 down is rye.
Yeah, it's right.
Yep.
Ring.
What is 5 down? Like a
Oh,
career
4 down is
move that
Iceland.
doesn't
Lateral.
improve salary or title.
Yep. Lateral.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Iceland. Lateral.
Seven. Yeah, roadie.
Yeah.
And then 9 across is your sweet on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
No, IE.
Oh, yeah. What is this one? Walk like a duck.
Waddle.
Waddle.
11 across is wizard.
Z. Hoppy Brew is
And
IP.
open AI is 14 across.
Open AI. There we go. We got through that one pretty quick.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, what is next? Travel. Okay. Norway to Belgium. Netherlands, right?
Yeah. Denmark.
What? How does
no,
it not
Nev-
want me to go straight there?
Mark touches you can't cross that. You gotta.
What?
Denmark is there.
Germany.
It's always Germany, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, don't let's start.
It wanted us to do Germany to Denmark.
Yeah. And then I think you need Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. So we didn't need Netherlands. Not bad though. Got there pretty quick. Still had 3 guesses left over. Getting pretty good at that game. I enjoy that. Here's the game that we always lose.
It's because it's a terrible game. I do have it on the list. I will complain every time.
It's Joust.
Is it Joust?
No. Oh, I have no idea what the fuck that is.
What
I don't know.
the hell is that?
It's a platformer
Ice
from
Tigers, Ice
85.
Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yep. Boom. Everyone's got it at once.
It's the first one I've ever gotten.
There you go.
And I only know it because of Smash.
It's probably where like 80% of people will get it from.
You can see what they're on, right?
What?
Look at the shadow.
Yeah. What on earth do you think they're on?
It looks like
What do you think they're
That's a
on?
hill.
I don't know. What could it be? Wrong, maybe? Why did you think that? I mean, I'm going to guess the thing that you think it is, but like,
Yeah.
Thank you. You gotta
I think that might be Russia.
3,000 that way from Egypt. Does that get you all the? That doesn't get you.
I think
I think it gets you to like Turkey.
that might be correct. That to Russia might be a little far.
Oh well.
Oh. That, yeah.
Okay, now back up a little. I'm just gonna type in Russia just because you had said it, and now we're dancing all over that area. Yeah, it's way far away from that. Okay, so.
Yeah.
But it's just north of.
Just north.
Tajikistan.
No, because
So it's 950 that way from Tajikistan.
yeah. So like maybe Iran.
Turkmenistan. I really thought it was one of the stands. I don't know anything about Turkmenistan.
I know a little bit about it. Most
That
of it's,
one, though. I
insane
know
politics.
that one. That's the kind of thing the stands have in it.
It's definitely Uganda National Mosque. That's what it is. No, Independence Monument.
Yeah, the Independence Monument. All right. I don't know the capital of Turkmenistan.
Turkmen?
Yeah.
No, there's actually or what is it? There's
Why does it really badly want to
The,
autofill these? It wasn't doing this last week. We're gonna go Turkey.
it's a country where Gergenzuli, what's his name, renamed everything.
Yeah. It's like Gork or something.
Yeah, I want to say it starts with a G.
We're gonna go Goose Green. Just oh come on! I wanted you to tell me what it was. There we go. Ashgabat.
Oh, okay. I guess he didn't rename the capital.
It's up there. It's down there. Nope. Okay. I mean, I don't know these things. It's that
Yeah,
one.
I do not know the
It's
geography.
that
of
one.
It's always the capital.
I know. Look at that. I mean, we did half good.
Yeah.
Did we?
No.
No.
It was giving us that one. Okay, time guesser. Let's play some time guesser chat. All right, what do we got here?
A bad time.
That doesn't look fun.
That's a
No, it does
very
not.
bad time. What the hell flooded? That's mud everywhere. This is a bad time. This feels
It feels like Italy.
Yeah.
Italy, yeah.
This
Could be.
feels Italian to me.
Certainly seems plausible.
They're real early. Guess we don't have a lot of.
And the problem is a lot of this feels Italian, but then a lot of these cars feel like Eastern Bloc to me.
Yeah, kinda. Although a lot of the Eastern Bloc cars were based off of copies of European ones.
Yeah.
That could, I mean, that could be like
I mean, this looks like a
50s
Lada.
Italy. Yeah, it does.
Okay, where had a really, really bad flood? Like this.
Like the whole Earth.
Excuse me, what?
Every part of the earth pretty much has had a bad
Yeah.
flood at some point.
Sorry, I thought his raisin
Oh.
was just coming out.
I'm going for Minsk in 62.
All right.
I was a few years off and it was in Italy. Arno. That's what flooded. Still not horrible. Oh, I wonder
Get 'em
where
outta
that
here.
is.
Ugh,
Get him out.
Do we know where that is?
nope.
Get rid of it. Get
Do
it
we
off my
have
screen.
any idea where that
Not even my
is?
screen. I just need to know.
Isn't the stock exchange down here somewhere? I've literally been across the
I
street from it
think
so
it's a
many
little
times.
I think it's slightly farther north.
Yeah, I think it's a little further north than you always want to look.
I always want to go all the way down there.
Yeah, I think it's still in lower Manhattan, maybe Midtown. But in that general vicinity. Just
going to click here.
sure.
Okay. And yeah.
Do we can't see any detail there. We can see what she's wearing
Stock exchange and he's
and the amount of hair he still has.
Yeah, I'm guessing like mid 80s.
Yeah, this feels like 85.
Yeah, that seems about right.
86.
85, 87, something like that.
Let's go 86.
okay, sounds good.
95. He looked
Oh.
that bad in 95. Okay. And yeah, it was way farther south. See, I always think it's way down there, and it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Everyone tells me go north every time.
I guess I was thinking of the location of the Empire State Building. Something.
Cafe Ritter, Dorotheum, Zeberg, Autobahn.
Yeah, that's definitely. I think we know general area of where it is. What? Where in Germany? I'm not 100% sure.
Emphatically pre-war. All those lines.
Those cars
Yeah,
are
those cars
not
are
pre-war.
post-war.
No, you're right.
Decidedly post-war. That's at least
62 Berlin,
Yep.
63
In Vienna.
Vienna. Still
Vienna.
close enough.
Yep.
63, 62, right?
Never lie though. There were no hats and it was
No
actually
hats.
60.
Toe something.
To err is human, to R is pirate.
Yep. That is definitely
Yeah.
what that says in Spanish.
I don't know this building.
Is this one of those polar things where they go into the freezing water? That feels like what this is.
It does look like freezing water.
It
And
does.
that is definitely his Santa hat.
Yeah.
So some kind of a Christmas thing in freezing water.
Okay. Where did they do these polar plunge?
Everywhere.
Yeah, all over the place.
You looking at South America?
Bunch of
mean-
Spanish, a bunch of
Yeah, they did
What's the Spanish?
On
the
that shirt.
T-shirt that said
There's no Spanish on the T-shirt. That's English.
it's
Is
not
it?
the to air.
To err is human, to R is pirate. That's
Oh,
English.
that does actually say pirate.
Oh
Okay.
wow, yeah, I see. Wow.
Oh, okay.
I misread that entirely. Huh.
I mean,
I was
if
judging.
there are other arguments for it being
No,
English,
no.
sure, but that's
I got nothing then.
That's spurious.
Where are we? You were right with later than that. Okay. Brits on Boxing Day. Oh boy. Riverstone Imperial, a milk bar, House Furnishers Limited. So we've probably got England here.
It does seem likely.
I don't know firearms. It feels.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, is limited also in Australia?
Probably.
Yes, I
Because
believe
we
it
keep
is.
getting fucked.
We do keep
Yeah.
getting fucked with that.
Australia exists, and you don't get roads this wide in England, but you would get them that wide in Australia.
Yeah.
That
is
sounds
not a
that
bad
sounds
guess.
like logic. I like logic.
All right, it's gonna be wrong.
But what year is this?
Ooh,
Okay, they're wearing hats.
This car right here.
You got a buggy.
yeah, I'm seeing some cars that look like
59?
50s.
Yeah, that works. That works. 59. Definitely don't go much
Not
higher
a
than that.
not a terrible guess, I'd say.
62.
50 though.
Yeah, we were close. We were close. So what'd we get?
We really screwed up.
Messed up a couple of
Yeah.
those. Definitely messed up a couple of those. Okay. We are on connections.
It's gonna be so much easier because the other one was so hard.
Okay.
You can't just put that word
Hem, pleat, seam.
edge.
Where is it? There it is.
They can't just put that word. What?
It's not edge. What's the other thing?
Dart.
Uh,
It's a dart.
I know, but is hem and haw together?
Oh, they might be.
Or they were fucking with us there. Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay.
Good, good, good. Okay.
All right. So, freeze-dried can cure.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
Ways of
yeah.
preserving things.
yep,
Preserve food.
yep, yep. Well done, well done.
I feel like haw and lube have to be together, but I'm not getting what the is.
Yeah.
Like, one or the other. I'm just not. I mean, punch and bite definitely have some vibes, but I don't think that that's actually right.
Yeah. Trying to think of maybe if it's word thing or
Yeah, I think this is.
thing word.
I'm guessing it's probably one of those ones, or one of the ones where it's like one letter off from a thing.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Yep. No, it's a sharp. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
And then what is this? Birds minus I hate the minus
Uh-huh.
letter.
I hate those too.
Boo.
Heron, hawk, condor.
Moon.
Wow, dude.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo. Okay, let's just really do some damage.
The worst
Okay.
game.
Water,
All right, let's go.
car, job, work, weird,
Electricity.
play, game,
Mm.
electricity,
I'm just gonna say words that are hard to type.
baseball, pumpkin, play, theater. I'm not typing that. Movie, label, boat, fly, person,
Uncle.
what?
Uncle.
Food, television,
Friend.
friend, blue, royal, peanuts, plain, ocean, wet, jump with the P there, elephant, wood, man, woman, child, school. What are we doing here? Janitor. We are just nowhere near this. World.
Ooh, hey, there you go.
Okay. How's it going?
Oh.
Earth, globe, dirt, record, planet.
What? Web. Andy suck. What is this?
Yeah. Seriously.
Oh, that's so lame that I did that as a joke.
Oh wow.
You see the joke.
Oh, no. What's the joke?
Sam Altman behind OpenAI also has something he calls WorldCoin, and he ships you an orb, and you scan your irises, and then you get your WorldCoin.
I hate him.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah,
Wow.
a bunch of countries have started blocking him gathering up all of that biometric data.
Okay.
No.
He wanted everyone on the entire planet to scan their irises, and then that would be their proof of identity for the WorldCoin.
Wow.
So I was jokingly saying WorldCoin, and then here we are.
What super villainy is this shit?
Seriously. Oh.
Penny. Yen.
Mhm.
Pound. Euro.
So euro is really close and dollar is really close.
What do we have here, chat? What do we got going on? No, I mean, come on.
I don't know capitalist.
Don't know how
I
that.
wasn't volunteering it. I was just saying what the category.
Right.
Although sometimes we don't say the category and it is the category.
True.
Right. Poor, rich,
At least related.
oligarch.
Okay.
Dollar cream.
I hate this, but I need you to put in the word Trump, and then you'll just know that they didn't do that by accident. Thank you.
Dollar.
Trade, general. Store.
No, it's not like doing that. I mean, we're in the money area.
I'm just saying.
It's money related. It's context.
Like a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General. Or a
Yeah,
Dollar
those
Store
aren't.
in context.
No,
That's
that.
used all the time. I'm not wrong. I mean, I am. My reasoning is sound.
Okay, what do we got
maybe like
here?
buck or something? Some sort of euphemism for dollar?
Hmm.
Nope.
Have you tried any like precious metals? Like,
Oh yeah, I don't know.
okay. No, they're just there and then.
Hmm.
What the hell?
Hmm.
Just make it plural, just so we know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Sometimes they don't.
Bank was definitely another one we weren't thinking about there.
Yeah.
Dollar's still our closest one there. First time chatter. Thanks for joining us here as we are failing to win this game.
Look, this is how this game works. We signed up for this. We knew. Maybe Chad didn't know.
Yeah. We will figure out this answer or not. You know, I can't even ask
Yuan?
for a hint. You can't get closer than two.
No, what the
Could it be yuan or like ruble?
Yeah, I guess just keep going, but like.
Or yuan, Y-U-A-N.
Oh, peso is a separate one.
Oh no, it's one word. What'd you say?
Yuan, Y-U-A-N.
Yeah.
Peso is close. Okay.
Rupee.
Still.
Trade.
Something really close to a bunch of currencies. And trade, okay.
Invest. Oh, lira.
Yeah, that gets us close to.
Did we do the accounting? Tax. I love that you can't write down tax immediately after.
Price?
Wow, I mean, this is about as green as it's gotten before we've gotten it too.
Serious.
Salary?
Huh?
Did we do pay?
Yeah,
Okay. I
think it put
I
it
thought we might, but I
somewhere
couldn't
down there.
remember
Yeah.
certain.
We did check already, right?
Dollar.
What about the other spelling of check? C-H-E-Q-U. C-Q-U.
Oh, dollar. What could it be?
Allowance.
I don't know how that would. It doesn't seem to care about people at all. Everything that's related to people's down there. Only the money's up here.
Yeah.
Allowance is the amount of money that you get, and it's a very American thing for the most part. You know, that's amazing.
I did greenback. I mean,
Yeah,
definitely.
No.
It doesn't like that word.
Wow. Did we do Bill?
Yeah.
I thought so.
I don't know where it put it, but yeah, it's not even on screen.
Yeah.
I did Mint, like, they make the thing.
Did we do Note?
Oh, wait. How do you spell counterfeit, damn it? There you go. Did we do what?
Note.
Note. Yeah, sure. Why not? Doesn't know it.
Security?
What? No.
Yeah, like a
Financial
security.
securities.
A bond.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Okay, bond is actually fairly close.
Bearer? No, it doesn't know that. Unless it's like that.
It's bearer, like someone that bears a thing.
Yeah.
Did we do stock?
Yeah, we did.
I thought so.
Did we do like just number words, like million, billion?
Oh, I don't think we did.
Trillion? Okay. They're all hanging out in that same space. No. Like, look, $1 trillion is the thing that you talk about. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
deficit.
That's an interesting angle. No.
It's wrong, but
Yeah.
I only get there if you...
War is money, right?
$1 trillion should buy most anything?
They aren't allowed to be talked about anymore.
Oh. Somebody did something very bad, like extremely bad, right?
Lead singer.
Okay. That sucks.
Yep.
Why do people have to suck?
Indeed. Dollar, quarter. Nickel. We didn't do any of these.
No, we did.
Dime.
Didn't go anywhere, so quarter's the only one you haven't, right?
Yeah, I did that one already.
Did we do balance?
Ooh, hey penny. Oh, come on.
Do they have like a weird misspelling of it? No.
What the hell is it? We did coin.
How's quid way down there?
Because it's not real money. What the hell?
Loony.
Monopoly. Nope.
Nice try. I think penny would have been closer to
Yeah.
it if it wasn't like that.
I agree.
This one's a tough one.
Like, obviously, like...
We got close a while ago.
Dollar, but those are all, like, words with spaces.
Loony?
What?
Loony. L-O-O-N-I-E. The Canadian $2.
No, two O's, like a...
Like a loon. Yeah.
Okay.
Exchange, sure, why not? Go for it.
I thought we did.
Ooh.
Good.
Ooh.
Oh, we didn't do it before. Okay.
Okay.
I thought we had.
Forex,
Forex,
euro,
Oh, wow. Forex is way
trade,
closer than I would have expected.
exchange, dollar.
Market? Did we do market?
Swift,
Yeah, I don't think we did market.
market. I did wire, right? Yeah. I did transfer.
We did trade. Did we do trade?
Think so. Well. Options, calls, puts. I mean, GameStop. Does not know the word GameStop. Okay, so foreign exchange definitely gets us closer. I mean, I'm just going to type in foreign for the hell of it.
Yeah, but it's related to Forex.
Yeah.
Dollar.
Chart.
Trade euro.
Different.
Yeah.
So close. I'm near giving up though.
We did book early.
Yeah.
Want? Sure.
Yeah, I mean that's a good one.
Yeah.
If you're actually some kind of a Forex team and you've got a quant on team, one, how did you afford him when you started? And two, good job. You're probably winning. I am just at a complete loss here. I think I give up.
Franc?
Franc?
Yeah, Franc.
Oh, Frank. Yeah. I say it different than you. You probably say it right. What
I was just
other
trying to think
words
of
are
other-
around exchanging money for different money?
Like dollar exchange, trade, euro, and Forex are the ones that are super close.
You did check already.
Yeah.
The different spellings of it.
Yep.
Did like transaction, transfer, trade, exchange.
Did we do sale?
Did we do credit?
Hmm.
Did we do credit? I should have done it.
Can we give up, chat? I think we give up.
Yeah, I think we give up.
I think I'm done here.
Yeah, I'm
Can I
at it.
get another hint? Commodity? Oranges. No.
Did we do money?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's way down there.
Okay, I was gonna lose my.
Yeah, if we hadn't done that.
Is it one word?
Future.
It's all around that stuff, right?
Yeah, like we have
Oil?
everything
I did oil.
We did do oil? I couldn't remember if we had or not.
Index funds. I mean, they have weird shit in there. Yeah, NASDAQ's in there.
portfolio.
It's not a bad idea. Oh.
Oh yeah. Spell it.
Yeah.
Oh my
that's how-
God. Okay, I'm going to just type this all over again. When I have a typo in the middle there, I fuck up. Fund gets us there. Look at how close we're getting. We're filling in almost every gap now.
Seriously. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9.
Wow, there's got to be some sort of losing record that we're getting right now. Oh my god.
Margin.
Fun, right?
Yeah. Fund is like off screen down there. Another hint. Denominate.
It's not helping.
It's really not. Reserve?
Devaluation.
Inflation?
Yeah, that's what I was just typing. Inflation and deflation. We are definitely just
Literally, we filled in almost the whole thing.
Seriously.
share. What is
Best.
Yeah, we did that one, I think, yeah. Denominate
Reserve?
devalue. How have we not done currency yet?
Oh, yeah. How have we not?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Right when you said it. Right when you said it, I knew that was the word.
Yeah. As soon as it was like we haven't done that, it was like, oh my God. How did we not do that?
And we're talking about Forex, foreign currency
Yeah.
exchange. Currency was the only word we were missing there.
Wow. I definitely would have thought that we had done currency.
All credit goes to the new
Yeah.
All credit, yes. Wow.
We
yeah.
definitely deserve 0 credit.
And
for
you heard that. The second I read it, I was like, why did we not type that
Yeah.
yet? Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times. Well, we're going to go out on the big win of 162 guesses.
And 3 hands.
And the win that we would not have gotten without multiple chatters helping here. This is now a 3-hour stream when I was like, my voice hurts. And, I mean, it's cracking. You can tell this isn't my normal voice, but like, somebody brought me more water, so that's helped. Okay, everybody. I think we are going to call it for the night. That was fun. Good times. I will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. for a 1-hour stream. I am playing in a Minecraft tournament, which, you know, I am very bad at. And so it's funny. So you should come watch it. All right, everyone. I'm going to start hitting buttons that end the stream. Thanks for being here.